Do you know, when I heard this today, I just wanted to cry again.
No. Oh,
again.
No.
We are in a major housing crisis. We talk about cost of living crisis. We talk about all sorts of things. No government and no political party want to talk about housing. And the reason they don't want to talk about housing is because our housing market is the only thing that this country rests on, this inflated bubble that we've got. So, therefore, putting another load of people with the right to buy, it reduces social housing stock even further. One of the things about housing association is, in order to get a housing association property, you have to be homeless now. You can't just go on a list. Do you remember when we were young, my mum said, put your name down on the council list, and that's what you did. You can't put your name on a council list anymore. You have to go homeless, and then the council will decide whether you can go on the list. So therefore, the people who have got housing association properties are people who need them. They're not, they're not people who's just, managed to get one. And one of the other things about the right to buy, it's not worked. Because what has happened is, whenever the council sells a property, the receipts, the money for that house, doesn't go back to the council, it goes to central government. So the councils are not building council housing. On top of that, 70% of our council housing stock that has been sold since 1979 are now in the hands of private landlords. So what that means is you will live in a council house, or an ex-council house, but you are paying inflated rent to a private landlord.
But hang on though, because
it's not working.
But isn't that because the person who's bought their property has then basically tried to profiteer?
Yes, so they have. That's exactly what's happened.
That's the fault. That's not the government's fault. That's someone
that's the policy's fault. That is the weakness of the policy, because the policy allows that to happen. Therefore, what we need regarding housing, I mean, in London,
do you know how I'd get rid of that? But again, I'm quite harsh. If you buy your property at a discount, I know you can't sell it straight away. I know this.
It's 5 years. It's only 5 years, though.
But I would say that if you sell it after that point, you've got to repay some of the discount back to the government.
Well, what I would say is we don't have a right to buy at all. Because the only thing that's going to help our housing situation, and that means young people getting on the housing ladder, is if we have 1 million council houses, new council houses, because what that will do is take the pressure off the market, and it means that young people who perhaps want to buy a house will be able to live somewhere. It will take the private rents down. And it means that people will be able to save up. At the moment, the housing market is being inflated. You've got a situation in London councils now, that because there is no housing stock, social housing stock, when you get a family in need, they are moving them 200 miles across the country